The media line was recently contacted by the Islamic Movement of Israel. The organization is alleging that Israelis are digging a series of tunnels under the holiest site in Jerusalem, and probably the most controversial place on earth, Al-Haram Al-Sharif, or Har Habayit, the Temple Mount. Your typical postcard image of Jerusalem is of the Western Wall in the foreground, and behind it, the magnificent Dome of the Rock. Well, those two sites, of course, holy to Judaism and Islam, lie just behind this building here. And if you will, you can cut a hole through that postcard image, and that's where we're standing, deep in the heart of Arab East Jerusalem. Here, above ground, work is underway on constructing a synagogue on the remains of one that stood on this spot in the last century. While the building was legally purchased by Jews from Arabs, Muslim neighbours in this densely populated Arab quarter see the move as yet another attempt by Jewish radicals to take control, albeit legally, of as many properties as possible in Jerusalem's old city.
They offered to buy my property 5 years ago. They offered once, twice, but I told them I wasn't selling, so they left and never came back.
How much did they offer?
They gave huge figures. They said, take how much you want, take 20 million.
And it's down here that the story becomes explosive. Just a few yards that way is the Western Wall. It's claimed by some in this neighbourhood, Arab residents it must be said, that behind this door, which right now is locked and firmly bolted, that Israelis are digging a tunnel that takes them underneath Haram al-Sharif, or the Temple Mount. Said Reit owns a restaurant directly opposite the excavations. He says he's unhappy with the noise and the dirt created by the workers and claims his business has been in decline for several years.
6-7 months before the war in Lebanon, there was a bit of tourism. But now, there's no tourism. There's nothing.
What we're going to do now is try to get inside to see at least where the tunnel begins. Maybe, if possible, to dig down a bit, although from what I understand, that's not going to be too easy. So let's go along this particular path. We're just moving along the wall, just across that way. You'll find Haram al-Sharif and the Dome of the Rock. This is the door. It says danger. Here they're building. Let's see what's inside. We're now heading down towards the bottom of this synagogue. Again, it's still unclear to us whether the story that's being told by the Arabs in this area is true, that this tunnel actually goes down underneath the Temple Mount. But what we can see here is the excavations are very deep indeed. I think it's fair to say that I've reached the bottom, and to be honest, deep into the bedrock of Jerusalem underneath the old city as we know it, but certainly as far as this particular excavation is concerned, and as you've seen, I've come deep down, I can't see that tunnel. We'll see if we can find it somewhere else in the old city. It's not the first time the Islamic movement has claimed Israelis are digging under the Temple Mount. The charge is often accompanied by the suggestion the burrowing is a deliberate attempt to cause the collapse of the Muslim holy sites, the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock. As on previous occasions, Israel denies the claim.
I mean, that's a ridiculous idea. I would even say an irresponsible idea. We have no intention at all of doing any excavation of that sort, nor in the past have we done anything like that, nor in the future will we contemplate anything of that sort.
Well, we've been walking through the old city now for a long time, trying to find if this tunnel exists. We don't know for sure. Perhaps nobody knows, perhaps the Prime Minister, and that's it. But what we were told all along was that that tunnel leads all the way through Bab al-Silsila, which I guess you could roughly translate as the chain gate. And it runs through here into the holiest site for Judaism and one of the most holy for Islam, the Temple Mount or Haram al-Sharif. This is David Harris for the Media Line in Jerusalem.